These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's gonna happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business.
We have some absolutely massive news to talk about as a longshoreman strike that would drastically impact things such as the supply chain, both nationally and internationally, could start as early as today. That's because for the first time since 1977, a master contract between the East Coast shipping ports, 36 in fact, the ILA, which is the International Longshoreman Association, as well as the U.S. Maritime Alliance, has expired. In this video, we will of course go over all the details, as well as what this could potentially mean for the cruise ship industry. So in an attempt to simplify an overall pretty complex situation that's going on right now, you have the ILA, the International Longshoremen's Association, which happens to be a workers union with over 85,000 workers operating within the East Coast of the United States, over at ports such as Miami, Tampa, Florida, Baltimore, just to name a few examples. As of October 1st, 2024, which happens to be today, the master contract between the ILA and the shipping ports along the East Coast is officially expired. Unfortunately, they were not able to cut a deal for a new contract. Long story short, the ILA wants to cut a deal that involves a pay increase over a number of years. I believe it was 61%. They also want some kind of agreement that won't allow for automation, advances that could potentially cause some of the longshoremen within the ILA to lose their jobs. Now, these are, of course, the two primary demands of the ILA. Of course, there are more things that they want in terms of benefits. However, you have the president of the ILA, Harold J. Daggett, and let's just say he isn't exactly happy about everything that is taking place. He had some very choice, aggressive words regarding this matter.
But today's world, it's changing into the future. They're not making millions no more. They're making billions, and they're spending it fast as they make it. I want a piece of that for my men, because when they made their most money was during COVID. When my men had to go to work on those piers every single day, when everybody stayed home and went to work. Not my men. They died out there with the virus. We all got sick with the virus. We kept them going. From Canada to Maine to Texas, Great Lakes, Puerto Rico, now the Bahamas, everybody went to work during COVID. Nobody stayed home. Well, I want to be compensated for that. I'm not asking for the world. They know what I want. They know what I want, and if they don't, well, then I have to go into the street and we have to fight for what we rightfully deserve. These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's gonna happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are gonna go to work on that pier? It's gonna cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're gonna be like this. Who's gonna win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you.
Now, I have been personally doing a lot of digging and research while I'm here on this cruise, so it's made things a little complicated as far as being able to understand what's going on and give it to all of you in a concise and informative and easy to understand way. However, I did find a very resourceful channel known as What's Going On with Shipping. Maybe you've heard of them. You should subscribe to them if you haven't already. They gave a very good example as far as the potential impact that could come from all of this. Take a listen.
You're going to have car carriers impacted. Containers are going to be impacted. Depending on the ports, if ILAs are line handlers, you may have some tankers and grain carriers impacted. This is going to be strategic. 50% of container imports come in through the eastern Gulf Coast of the United States. If all of a sudden this shuts down, what's going to happen is if it's a day, no immediate impact. You're not going to see shortages or anything, but it will take about a week to straighten everything out. If it's a day strike, if it's a week strike, you're talking about going into November, potentially December. If it's more than 2 weeks, it's the new year coming in. And let's be clear, you're not going to see shortages. All of a sudden, things aren't going to disappear off the shelves because there's not coming in the ports. They are going to disappear off the shelves because people are going to panic. I guarantee you that. There will be panic. We could see costs go up, inflation go up for goods that are all of a sudden in short supply. Manufacturing is going to be a problem because manufacturing relies on just-in-time logistics. So we're going to see some plants shutting down or manufacturing stop, including Department of Defense and military equipment. And then what we'll see is things will start to placate a little bit. Goods will be coming in from the West Coast, other sources, but they won't be able to meet the demand, and we'll see it rise again. Daggett and the ILA are in a good position to strike. I think both sides, there needs to be government intervention here. I'm not a big government intervention guy. I'm not talking about making them go to work, not Taft-Hartley, but get these parties at the table negotiating and hammer out a deal.
I do hope that those clips and everything we've gone over does clear all this up, and hopefully, fingers crossed, doesn't scare all of you too much. This is something that everyone, in my opinion, whether you are in the shipping industry or going on a cruise or just living a regular life, should pay attention to, because as you heard, this could have a very drastic impact on the very way of life of people, not only in the United States, but internationally. Many of you are wondering what in the heck is going on with cruise ships. In terms of this union strike, are the cruise ships that we are going to be sailing on going to be affected? Well, according to the Miami Herald, as of right now, the cruise ships that are sailing out of Miami are still going to be sailing without a hitch and everything should be fine. You also have other sources over in Baltimore that are also saying that the cruise ship industry will not be impacted by the strike, and I would assume it pretty much be the same across the board, at least on the East Coast when it comes to cruise ships in this strike situation. Anyway, that's the lowdown of this honestly insane situation. Personally, I will be keeping an eye on all of this to see what is going on. If you want me to make an updated video, and I promise it will be more detailed than this one, let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And know, as usual, I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you later. Take it easy.